Good morning, good afternoon, and thank you for joining me today. My privilege to share with you today a presentation entitled Linking Horizons Lessons from 20 Million Farmers Initiative to Drive Innovation and Qualification in the Northeast. This presentation is both purposeful and timely, carrying deep significance for this conference and all stakeholders engaged in shaping the future of our agriculture food industry. The phrase linking horizons is not just a metaphor, it's a mission. It speaks to our collective responsibilities to bridge two regions, Africa and Northeast Brazil, united by common challenges in agriculture, climate resilience, and sustainable livelihoods. At the same time, both regions are rich in knowledge, creativity, and potential, making them fertile grounds for innovation, qualification, and transformation. So today, we are not only looking at problems, but we are also exploring solutions inspired by 20 million African farmers, solutions that can inform new models of resilience and opportunities for the Northeast, and by extension of global food systems. Let me begin by introducing the 20 Million Farmers Initiative in Africa. The Global Sustainable Futures Network, GSFN, in partnership with Union Farmers of Africa and a wide coalition of actors, has launched an ambitious efforts to engage 20 million farmers across the continent in what we call farming carbon. Farming carbon is not simply a technical exercise, it is about facilitating agriculture resilience through market driven carbon opportunities for regenerative and nature based solutions. In essence, it empowers farmers, climate solutions, income opportunities, and pathways to long term resilience. Across Africa, agriculture remains the backbone of the society. Nearly 65% of the population is directly engaged in farming, while more of the 80% depend on the food system for their livelihoods. With this initiative, the vision is clear. Farmers should no longer be seen as only a food producers, but they are innovators, problem solvers, and the custodians of invaluable knowledge, indigenous knowledge, and through them we should ensure that the benefits are more than integration of traditional practices, modern technology, and strategic framework. African farmers operate under immensely challenging conditions, from recurrent droughts, soil degradation, and unpredictable weather patterns to volatile markets. Yet, out of these challenges have emerged ingenious, cost effective, and community driven solutions that safeguard survival and create prosperity. The 20 Million Farmers Initiative is therefore not only about climate smart agriculture, it is about elevating the role of farmers as central actors in shaping resilient food systems, advancing carbon markets, and driving sustainable development for generations to come. So let me walk you through the 20 Million Farmers Initiative. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Renuka Thakore, founder and CEO of Global Sustainable Futures Network CIC. I am from UK. I'm joined by Prince Justin Ajingatani, founder and executive chairman of the Union Farms of Africa. And we are calling you all to join 20 Million Farmers Initiative, Farm Carbon Africa.
facilitating agriculture resilience through market-driven carbon opportunities for regenerative and nature-based solutions. The objectives is that we empower indigenous and smallholder farmers across Africa by integrating them into global carbon markets, facilitating the generation of carbon credits through sustainable agriculture practices, and enhancing climate resilience through regenerative and nature-based solutions. It will enable farmers to benefit financially from carbon credits, promote climate smart agriculture practices, build capacity for long-term carbon market participation, and drive sustainable economic growth while addressing climate adaptation and mitigation. We will ensure, and this project will ensure fair pricing by providing direct market access and reducing middleman influences. It will improve financial inclusion, enabling farmers to access loans and investment opportunities. It will enhance transparency and traceability, meeting global sustainability standards. It will streamline trade with efficient digital transactions, reducing cost and delays, integrating climate benefits, allowing farmers to earn from carbon credits and adoptable sustainable practices, leverage real-time data to empower decision-making for farmers, cooperatives, and policymakers. So our target is to onboard 20 million farmers. Those who join us, the first step is to onboard them on the commodity exchange platform. Onboarding farmers onto a commodity exchange platform would empower them with real-time access to market prices, enabling fairer trade and improved income. It also enhances transparency, traceability, and efficiency in the value chain, connecting them directly to the buyers and reducing exploitation by intermediaries. By onboarding farmers on a digital commodity exchange, we will also gain access to valuable data that helps identify farmers clusters and with high potential for carbon credit projects. This enables targeted interventions, smarter planning, and greater impact in scaling regenerative practices and unlocking climate finance for rural communities. This approach will build local capacities for carbon trading by equipping farmers with the data, tools, and knowledge needed to participate in global carbon markets. It ensures that the benefits of carbon finance reach the grassroots, empowering communities to lead sustainable transformation. So the project design and carbon credit generation will involve identifying climate smart practices, measuring their impact, and structuring them to meet verified carbon standards. This process enables the creation of creditable, tradable carbon credits, unlocking new income streams for farmers while contributing to global climate goals. These projects will formally registered on an international carbon registry, ensuring global recognition, transparency, and credibility. This not only enhances investors' confidence, but also enables the sale of verified carbon credits on international markets, directly benefiting participating communities. The roles of the stakeholder will be important, and most significantly, smallholder farmers, those who implement carbon-friendly agricultural practices and generate carbon credits. Others are cooperatives who would aggregate carbon credits, facilitate training, and manage farmer participation. Also, we will have carbon advisory firm, which would provide technical expertise, certification support, and market access. And we will have carbon exchange marketplace, which connects sellers, that is farmers and cooperatives, with buyers and facilitate trading. Importantly, smallholder farmers will get 50% majority share of their direct role in carbon sequestrance. This means that if we get 10,000 farmers on board for a carbon credit project, about $250,000 of revenue can be generated. And that's why I request you to get in contact with the champions. These champions are the members of Independent Continental Champions Council, specially or created for 20 million farmers initiative, Farm Carbon Africa. So get in touch with the champions, or you can directly write to us. Email address is given here. And you can also go to the Facebook and LinkedIn pages to understand more and get updated. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me now share with you the key lessons we can learn from African farmers. Lessons that are not abstract theories but lived realities, shaped by resilience, creativity, and necessity. First, community-driven innovation. Across Africa, farmers have built farmers-to-farmer knowledge exchange networks that allow local solutions to scale rapidly. They are not wanting to externally interventions alone, but instead they are leveraging indigenous practices combined with climate-smart agriculture, showing us that innovation is most powerful when it is community-owned and culturally grounded. Second, resilience through diversification. African farmers understand that resilience cannot rest on monocultures. They practice agroforestry, intercropping, and livestock integration, building systems that are not only productive but also adaptive. This diversification strengthens food security even under severe climate stress, proving that variety is both a buffer and a strategy for prosperity. Third, women and youth leadership. Perhaps one of the most transformative lessons is the centrality of women and youth people. Through empowerment models and training programs, Africa initiatives have shown how inclusion is not just a matter of equity, but a driver of innovation. Women and youth bring fresh ideas, energy, and perspectives that reshape framing farming into an engine of opportunity. Fourth, digital transformation. Technology is rapidly changing agriculture. In Africa, mobile platforms now connect farmers to market, provide real-time weather information, and open access to microfinance. These tools are proving that digitalization can scale affordable solutions, reaching even the most remote communities with knowledge and opportunity. Fifth, climate adaptation strategies. Finally, adaptation is no longer optional, it is essential. Farmers are adopting water harvesting techniques, soil management practices, and drought resistant crops to withstand the pressures of climate change. These strategies turn vulnerability into resilience and lay the foundation for long term sustainability. Together, these five lessons remind us that African farmers are not passive recipients of aid, but also active innovators shaping pathways that our others, including Northeast, can learn from and adapt to their own context. The next step to explore how the lessons from African farmers can be translated into opportunities for the next Northeast. First, adaptation of African strategies to the local context. The goal is not to copy, but to adapt and tailor these successful practices to the realities of the Northeast, its ecosystem, its cultural fabric, and its agricultural traditions. Building economic qualification frameworks. To truly scale impact, we must train farmers and extension workers, equipping them with both traditional knowledge and modern techniques. At the same time, it is vital to certify green skills and sustainable practices, ensuring recognition, credibility, and pathways to employment in emerging green economics. Third is linking innovation to policy and education system. Innovation cannot exist in isolation. It must be embedded into policy framework, curricula, and institutional structures so that it becomes a part of region long-term agriculture and educational strategy. This ensures continuity, investment, and systematic transformation. Finally, harnessing digital tools and network for scalability. By leveraging digital platforms, mobile applications, and data-driven tools, we can accelerate access to markets, knowledge, and finance. Digitalization provides the bridge between small-scale innovation and large-scale transformation, allowing local practice to reach global impact. Together, these actions form a roadmap to build resilience, create a new opportunity, and empower the Northeast to stand at the forefront of the sustainable agriculture innovation. Sustainable development requires a holistic approach that involves multiple sectors and levels of society. The following figure illustrates the interconnected pathways for policy and institutional change, focusing on partnership, incentives, and international cooperation. The three-pillar framework. It is three pillars that partnerships, incentives, and international cooperation work together to create a robust system for sustainable policy and institutional pathways. Partnership governments, universities, and communities. Partnership between government, university, and communities are crucial for creating effective and locally relevant policies. Each group brings unique strengths to the table. Government provides the institutional authority and the framework to implement policies. They can create a supportive legal and regulatory environment. Universities contribute research and knowledge. They can provide data-driven insights, technological innovations, and capacity building programs. Communities offer local expertise and on-the-ground knowledge. Their input ensures that policies are equitable, culturally sensitive, and meet the real need of the people they are meant to serve. So, joint research pathways focusing on local development needs. We need to have shared decision making processes where community members have an equal voice and build capacity building programs that empower local leaders and citizens. Incentives for sustainable farming practices are the key to encouraging the adoption of sustainable practices in agriculture. This can be economic, regulatory, or social. Without them, farmers may be limited in their ability to invest in new, more sustainable methods. Financial incentives are very important because they include subsidies, grants, and tax breaks from adopting practices like no-till farming, cover cropping, and water conservation. Market-based incentives can be very instrumental. Certification programs, organic fair trade allow farmers to sell their products at a premium, creating a direct financial reward for sustainable production. Technical and social incentives like providing access to training, technical support, and peer to peer learning network help farmers understand the long term benefits and overcome initial barriers. So, policy driven subsidies that reward ecosystem services, public private partnerships that create premium markets for sustainably grown goods, and extension services that offer technical assistance and knowledge sharing. Building international South South cooperation is extremely important because bridging South South cooperation is a collaborative model where developing countries share knowledge, skills, and resources with each other. It builds on foundation and mutual respect and shared goals, complementing traditional North South models. Knowledge and skill exchange countries facing similar challenges can share practical, context specific solutions. This includes sharing expertise in areas like renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and healthcare. Joint development projects like countries can pool resources for large scale projects such as building infrastructure or addressing climate change. Policy and governance learning, that is, government can learn from each other. Policy successes and failures, adapting institutional models that work in similar contexts. These creating multilateral platforms for dialogues and information exchange, funding mechanisms that support peer to peer projects, and fostering diplomatic relationships that prioritize shared development goals. We need to work towards all three pillars extremely well. In an era demanding urgent and transformative change, our call to action outlines four critical imperatives designed to reshape the future of agriculture and ensure global food security. These aren't just recommendations, they are foundational pillars for resilient, equitable, and sustainable agricultural landscape. First, we must strengthen cross-continental collaboration. The challenges facing our food systems, climate change, resource scarcity, and market volatility transcend borders. Solutions, too, must be global by fostering deeper partnership between nations, research institutions, and agricultural organizations across continents. We can facilitate the exchange of vital knowledge, best practices, and innovative technologies. This collaborative spirit allows us to learn from diverse experiences, adapt successful models to new contexts, and collectively build a more robust global agriculture community capable of addressing shared threats. It is imperative to invest in farmer-led innovation hubs. The most effective innovation often emerge directly from those who work the land every day. Farmers possess invaluable practical knowledge and a deep understanding of their local ecosystems. By establishing and supporting innovation hubs that are conceptualized, managed, and driven by farmers, we can create environments where new ideas are cultivated, tested, and scaled up in a way that is relevant and beneficial to their communities. These hubs can become centers for experimentation, peer to peer learning, and co creation of sustainable solutions that directly address the real world challenges faced by agriculture producers. Third, we must actively empower women and youth as change makers in agriculture. These two demographics represent immense untapped potential. Women farmers, despite often performing the majority of agricultural labor, frequently face insignificant barriers to land ownership, access to resources, and decision making power. Youth, with their fresh perspective, technological fluency, and passion for the future, are critical for injecting dynamism and innovation into a sector that often struggles with an aging workforce. By providing equitable access to education, training, financial resources, and leadership opportunities, we can unlock their potential, enabling them to drive sustainable practices, foster new enterprises, and build more resilient food systems for generations to come. Finally, we must embed qualification and innovation into long-term agriculture policies. Sustainable transformation cannot be achieved through short-term projects alone. It requires a fundamental shift into how agriculture policies are conceived, and implemented. This means designing policies that are not only incentivized but actively integrated into continuous learning, skill development, and the adoption of cutting edge practices as core components. Innovation as a core component. Long-term policy frameworks should support research and development, facilitate technological transfer, and create a regulatory environment that encourages experiment and adaptation. By doing so, we encourage that agricultural systems remain dynamic, responsible, and continuously evolve to meet future challenges and opportunities. Together, these four calls to action form a comprehensive strategy to move beyond incremental adjustments and achieve truly development worldwide. Our exploration into sustainable agriculture pathways lead to a powerful and enduring conclusion. We must fundamentally shift our perception of African farmers. They are not merely passive recipients of aid or technology, they are knowledge rich innovators. For generations, they have developed and refined farming practices that are resilient, resourceful, and deeply attuned to their local environments. This wealth of indigenous knowledge, combined with the spirit of innovation, makes them central to any successful strategy for global food security. The lessons from the global south, particularly from Africa, offers a blueprint of regions for regions like Northeast. By studying and adapting these practices from small-scale diversified farming to community-led innovation, the Northeast can build more resilient, sustainable, and thriving agriculture systems. The path to agriculture prosperity isn't a one-way street. It's a shared journey of mutual learning and adaptation. By linking horizons, we can cultivate futures. So let's all swing high in the sky and beyond through this network. Thank you for having me here today. Connect to me on whichever channel you are in. Thank you very much.